it with Mia. Tonight we're about to get into Belle Collected. We're just gonna talk about it a little bit. But before we get in it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And come on over here and kick it with your girl. Here in Jackson, Mississippi, baby Lateshia has came home from this trip, and y'all know she is acting like she just worn out. It's the same thing between her and Glen. I still feel like, you know, she wants to hold Latrice to this high standard without really holding Glen to a higher standard. Like I've said, and I feel like I keep repeating myself, so we gonna make this little part real quick. Like I said before, I feel like Latrice played her role because that's her friend, that's her best friend, that's her house. I feel we knew she knew. I feel like, you know, Latrice did what she did, whatever. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Glen. Let's call a spade a spade. Lateshia is acting like she's so hurt, which, don't get me wrong, let me not say so hurt, because I can see her being hurt. Like, that was hurtful. That's a hurtful situation. At the end of the day, Glen needs to take some accountability, but we know he's not for real. And it's just, it is what it is. I just feel like she's trying to hold Latrice to this such high standard, but she's not really holding Glen to that high standard, which I do know as her homegirl and as girl code and friends, that it's just some stuff friends don't do. And I completely agree. But like I said before, I don't feel like they are true friends. I feel like they are friends for the show. They are friends because their husbands are cool, and that's that. Like, they both have done stuff on each side that has been hurtful and malicious and mean girlish, and we're here. Now, this is a new low, but at the same time, Glen is the reason. So if you're not leaving Glen, then baby, take us all out the group chat. Meanwhile, child, Latrice got her own issues because she done came back from the trip, and her old buddy, Cliff, is not nowhere in sight. Cliff is still up at Taste, staying in his condo, relaxing and minding his business. And Latrice then pulled up on him because she like, baby, I told you to be at the house when I get back. And clearly, you don't give a damn. And y'all, I thought Cliff was just staying there, you know, trying to make things okay. Well, I ain't gonna say I thought he was just, because it's a reason he's staying there, unless it's just for the show. But baby, Cliff has a whole wardrobe over there. I said, hold on. Cliff got, baby, Cliff had at least 5 pair of shoes, if not more, over there. I said, oh, Cliff got the closet packed up. I'm thinking he just there, you know, make sure stuff runs smooth. Oh, no, baby, Cliff stay there. Cliff is trying to get the hell away from Latrice, or he doing his thing in peace, because, baby, ain't no way you got all these clothes at Taste. And Latrice is like, since he want to be there, she gonna move in with him. Like, child, this better be for a storyline, because if it's not, and you this invested into Lateshia and Glen and Amanda, baby, you need to find out what the hell Cliff got going on at Taste and why his ass want to be there so much, because it ain't like Taste is up and running now. So what's the problem? And so Latrice did say that they agreed that they would stay there on the weekends, because I'm pretty sure that's when they, you know, are their busiest. And then during the week they would go home. But Cliff not even holding up that end of the bargain. Then she said that she want to be on the same page. Child, Cliff then told her, oh, I'm on the front page, you on the back. Cliff, quit motherfucking playing with me. But we do know Latrice will get on Cliff if she need to. And I guess this is her way of putting her foot down. I hope this is a storyline, Latrice girl. But if not, hell, get Cliff money and let him cheat in peace. Nah, but Cliff, take your ass home. And Latrice, get out of other people's business, because like I said before, y'all knee deep in what Lateshia and Glen got going on, and shit ain't right in y'all households. So, baby, let's wrap this up. We still talking about Lateshia and Glen. Lateshia is fussing back and forth with Glen, basically about how, you know, that she was basically left in the dark, and Glen is saying how, you know, he feel like they attacking him, that they looked at Latrice and Cliff like family, and, you know, that they fell away, which I keep saying I agree. I get that part. The setup was fucked up, but we cannot ignore the fact that We wouldn't be here, Glen, if you wouldn't have even slid up in Amanda's DMs. Like, point blank, period. Yeah, Latrice was wrong. Cliff, at the same time, I don't even really think Cliff knew what was going on. Cliff just being Cliff, minding his business. And I just feel like you keep trying to overlook the fact that we wouldn't be here if you would have never even slid into her DMs. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it one more time. Amanda really liked the Glen. I don't know if all the DMs was read. They said that these DMs was from 2023, which I felt like it's more to that. I feel like Amanda liked that man because she was too mad. And then whether the clips was the DMs was from 2023 and it wasn't nothing new in there, it was something, because Amanda was too mad and Glen is really trying to make it, we know he gonna make it sound good. At the end of the day, we wouldn't be here if Glen, your ass would just stay out of people DMs. All that wanna be friendly, no. Cut that shit short. If you stay out of people DMs, stay out of people talking to them, flirting with them, or whatever you doing, it wouldn't even be nothing to bring back to Lateshia. Whether Latrice was wrong, whether her homegirl was wrong, don't matter. They was wrong, but we still gonna hold you accountable. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I feel like Glen feel away towards Cliff because him and Cliff probably did dirt together, and that's why Cliff was telling him if he wouldn't have never acted a fool, then it wouldn't have made him look. It wouldn't have made him look guilty. But you did. My thing is, Glen is so used to playing in Lateshia's face that he didn't care about the fact that Amanda and Latrice were best friends. Let that sink in. Because y'all know, if your man, if you with a man and he cheat or whatever, once he get to the point where he's cheating so much and you forgiving so much, he start doing what the fuck he want to do, because in his head you not going nowhere, or he know you gonna be mad for this little period of time. I'm gonna do what I need to do to, to get back in your good graces, and then it's gonna be like it's never happened. So he know what he's doing, if y'all get my drift here. And as much as we can call these women stupid, which we know it's just some stuff, me, especially at this big age, and, then been in relationships and stuff, it's certain stuff that I'm not putting up with. But with someone who's been with somebody since they were 14, 15 years old, it's probably hard for Lateshia to move on, because Glen is all she know. Like, she loved Glen, dirty draws. She loved everything about him. And it's probably hard for her to move on because that's all she know. And this is why I am an advocate for dating, for getting to know people, and for actually dating around and having different relationships. Because situations like this, when it's somebody that you've been with since you was a teenager and y'all are well into y'all 40s now, that's a hard attachment to break. So yeah, she probably is tired of getting her heart broken. She's probably is hurt. I do believe she's genuinely hurt. But when you've been dealing with somebody so long, it's hard to not know life without them, because he's been through her life, through her teenage years, through her adulthood. They have a child together. So it's like, in her head, she probably don't think that she could do better or she can find better, because Glen is all she know, unfortunately. We finally see Tamara and her man, Damon. I don't know if Tamara and Damon are really together, or if it's just they are just the awkward couple. They sitting down with a guy who's going to talk to them about money. Damon knows the guy, and the guy basically explained. He kind of said what I said in the previous video about how some men, when it comes to money, especially if they're dealing with a woman who make more than them, especially if it's a lot, he may feel some type of way, or if he can't do certain things and he know that she can do it, you know, as a man, that might make him feel like less of a man, or as a man, he might feel like, okay, she got this, but I got to get, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that because I'm a man and I'm supposed to be able to provide, which is not a bad thing. You want a man who feel like, you know, okay, if I can't, you know, if I can't provide, then I'm not doing what I need to do. So let me get in my bag and, you know, make some more money and do what I need to do. You want a man like that, but at the same time, it's like, I've said this previously. Y'all, this is a conversation y'all should have had before bringing a baby into this world, which I know is probably it is one of those situations where they are both are older. We know Tamara is up in age and she wanted a baby. And so Damon, they have been going back and forth, you know, for years, long time lovers, on and off for years. So she probably felt like, you know, this is somebody who she knows she's comfortable with, she's been with. So, hey, I want a baby. Why not have it with him? And now that the baby is here and the baby's not going anywhere and everything is real, she's worried about his finances, which I get it, especially if you're a person who, you know, you're big on your finances and you get with somebody who don't give a damn about finances. That could be a recipe for a disaster, you know. So I get that. She's like, do we have to have money to get married and all this and that? At this point, if you don't want to get married, don't get married. I'm that person who, I'm not the person to tell people, oh, y'all need to be married. Y'all need to do whatever works for y'all, because nobody know y'all relationship better than y'all. Now, I would say with the combining finances, though, I feel like if you know he's not great at money, don't combine y'all finances. She did say, you know, no, he said, well, you think I'm gonna steal the baby money? And she was like, no, I don't think that, but would you take my money? And my thing is, if you think like that, don't even do it. Or if y'all do want to have it, you can get a joint account where y'all just put money in there. You know, each check that y'all get paid, you may add something, he may add something, and whatever. But y'all still have y'all separate accounts on the side. That way, you still, you know, the bulk of your money is good, the bulk of his money is good, and then y'all meet somewhere in the middle if y'all don't want to have this joint account or whatever per se. Yeah, we know Tamara is boring. I like Tamara, but she never really has a storyline. We got a little bit out of her and Damon, so kudos to that. Damon felt like the man said everything that he's been trying to say, but didn't know how to articulate that to Tamara. So, you know, he said he's open for Tamara to help him, which, if they are indeed in this thing together, even if they not, because they got a child together. So him being open to her helping him is great, because if she's great with finances, she might can help him, you know, build his portfolio or find him ways to investments and stuff to make more money. So kudos to Tamara and Damon. I wish them nothing but the best. Glen meets up with Cliff, and why do Cliff got on Latrice shirt? I'm like, why do he got on this little shirt? Anyway, so Glen is being Glen, not taking no accountability, trying to find a way to blame everybody but himself. He's mad at Cliff because he's like, if that was my house, I wouldn't have never let it go down like that. Which I get him saying Cliff should have, you know, intervened. But at the same time, I agree with Cliff. Cliff was like, I can't control what my wife and her friends do. And I really didn't believe Cliff knew what was going to happen, because we know Cliff loved Glen. I don't think he would have let that, like, if he knew beforehand, I don't think he would have let it come out, especially not on TV. But he can't control Latrice and Amanda. At the end of the day, it seemed like Glen is like, oh, you need to have your wife in check, basically, is what I'm getting out of it. But at the same time, your actions, I'm gonna keep saying it, and I feel like I'm just talking in circles, but Glendale, your actions, you in them DMs is the problem, sir. Like, if you stay after DMs, we wouldn't even be here. Whether you feel like Latrice was wrong, Cliff was wrong, it happened that they had, whatever. If you would have never been in Amanda DMs entertaining Amanda, whatever y'all had going on, we would not be here. And so it's just like Glen is mad at everybody but himself. It's like that's it. He's like, he don't put nothing past Latrice. Y'all don't put it past her. You shouldn't put it past her. And I like Latrice. Y'all know I've been a fan of Latrice, but she do stuff outside of. But don't put it past her. At the end of the day, Glen, you was wrong. You need to take accountability for your actions. And then, you know, it's not like what did you really want Cliff to do? Start a whole damn scene? Because, and then Cliff was like I said earlier, if you didn't get into it with Javon, her Amanda's girlfriend or whatever they got going on, if they wouldn't have got into it, if you wouldn't have got into it with her, you wouldn't have looked guilty. Child, I'm over this, and I'm mad as hell that Carlos King wasted all our time this season on 7 damn episodes. Like, Carlos, do better. Glen let Cliff know that he's doing a recommitment ceremony for Lateshia, and that they weren't invited. And Cliff is kind of low key, like, he like, you know, I know why he didn't invite my wife, but I kind of feel the way that he didn't invite me, but he understand. Like, Cliff, he mad about not being invited on the sly. So the whole crew go with Selena, and they ride down to Prentice to go to her son's house. And I thought this scene was very touching. Just as a mother, I could just imagine. Like, I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I always feel like I want to see people in there, just me, other people, us grow old, and our kids bury us when we're old and gray, and we done seen them grow up, seen their grandchildren, you know, seen they great-grands. Like, that's how I want it to be. And the fact that she hadn't been to her son's house since he passed, she did show, you know, the everybody where they found him, and she felt like somebody loved him because he was in a blanket or like a sheet or something. He was found outside. They go in the house, and it doesn't look like anybody has been there since, you know, I'm pretty sure since the investigation. And this was a hard but necessary scene, put it like that. I feel like it's hard because I got emotional just as a mother. Like, I'm getting emotional now, but just as a mother, you know, like I said before, you don't want to have to bury a child. And then especially in a situation where he's been buried for a few years and we still don't have any leads, you know. I did appreciate Marie a lot in this scene because Marie was like the voice of reason. We do know Marie, she has 3 sons, and she said, you know, how she would be heartbroken if that ever happened to one of her kids. And not only that, I believe Marie's one of Marie's son, the mother of that child, is passed. And Marie, you know, she was helping with that. She was helping take care of the kids and stuff. So I really appreciated Marie in this scene. I really appreciated everybody coming, you know, to let Selena know that she did have someone there and to comfort her. I felt like Selena was a good addition this season. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all saying Selena was boring, but I feel like her storyline, outside of what's going on with her and Michael, if they get married or not, I feel like her storyline was actually real and relatable to some, unfortunately. Like, you know, it's like one of those things where you hate that it's relatable because it's so tragic and it's a lot of trauma and hurt there. But I know somebody was watching this and related to her situation. This is one of those situations that you will unfortunately never get over. Like, I know that's a pain and hurt that she carried, and I do pray that she gets some type of therapy and, you know, get some type of ways to cope and deal with it, other than, because like she said, she's basically, you know, killing herself, because I know that weighs heavy on any mother, especially a mother that's a mother for real. Like, that would just shatter me. So I sympathize with Selena. I like Selena. I feel like she was a good addition. I like the JJ and So Gucci. I feel like they all could have been on here, but I feel like JJ was more so the issue with Selena than So Gucci. But that's another story. I still low key feel like JJ was low key still in love with Selena. I don't know, but I did like that. Latrice said, you know, she was like money talk, and they wanted to raise a certain amount of money for her son if anybody come forward with any information. And she was like, you know, whatever that they don't raise, that her and Cliff would put the other amount up, which I thought that was like, I was like, that's a friend, like, you know, that's what friends do. So I like that. I thought that was big of Latrice. I thought that was very nice and sweet of Latrice and Cliff. Like I said, this is just one of those things that's just unfortunate that you don't wish on nobody. I pray, like I said before, that Selena gets some type of healing. I know some people was like, this shouldn't have been on TV, and I feel like this is bringing awareness, and especially with her son, Killer, the person who did unalive him, still being out there. Maybe this would, maybe somebody have some clues or some tips, or, you know, that they could give to the investigators, because she did say, you know, that they're not telling her anything. They keep telling her the same thing. So you know, hopefully she gets some type of closure, which I know it probably won't really be closure, but something. Child, we wrap up this season with Glen doing a recommitment to to Latrice again. And y'all, Latrice mama is over it. She is, baby, why Glen didn't overslept? How you didn't overslept the night before? And this is the thing, this is why I say, when you let a person treat you a certain type of way for so many years, they don't give a damn, for real. Because he really this was the fucking bare minimum, low effortest thing ever. You talking about a recommitment. First of all, her team is calling her, which I didn't like that. I felt like her team, like, come on now. Y'all, if he telling y'all that he's doing a recommitment, why the hell would y'all call her and tell her that Glen is doing a recommitment? Like, whoever that was on that team, they need to be fired immediately if that happened in real life, for real. But not only that, Glen, you should have had your shit together. First of all, you talking about you overslept. You didn't have shit put together, for real. Like, all you had was some flowers and some damn chairs. You talking about the team didn't get the decorations because you put this shit together last minute. And then with it being last minute, you didn't even try to do anything like fulfilling for it. And then, y'all, what was funny when they was going back and forth in the scene, when the other castmates, they went to Taste to go meet up with Latrice and Cliff, and how Clifton told them that they doing a recommitment ceremony, but he didn't want none of the bells there, and so carried them feel a certain type of way. But Tamara made up a good point when she was just like, he always do this when he didn't got into some shit. When he didn't did something, child, he come with a damn recommitment, or he try to do something grand, like he did the rap and all this extra shit. And it's like, Lateshia, she just eats it up. And then, like Cliff said, he gonna be good for 60 days. And Cliff, he gonna be mad about that at the reunion. You do something, and then Lateshia eats it up, and y'all are back cool, and you go up out and share your ass again, like, whatever. But I just thought this was very low effort, and I'm not sorry, so I'm not even gonna say that. Ladies, quit getting so used to the fucking bare minimum that you thought what he did was nice. That's crazy as hell to me. This man literally went to the lake, got some cherub, and bought you a bouquet of flowers. Like, I'm not impressed, and I'm not impressed. I don't know if maybe some of y'all are, but that's letting the men know how to treat you. And like Lateshia, she said she was, you know, she mad because she feel like she got to do everything. But Lateshia, you do it all day complaining, but you still showed up. And then when he told her, oh, I ain't gotta go. What did he say? I ain't gotta go. You ain't gotta go. We ain't gotta go. Something like that. Baby, you got one time to tell me that. after you the one who done fucked up. Baby, we ain't gotta go. You can get your shit and you can go. It's just certain stuff that I feel like some women make normal and then be mad when they get bullshit. But you literally was crying and, oh, I forgive him and all this, and acting like he just did this grand gesture when he did the bare minimum. Hell, Lateshia was like, when she was like, oh, you taking me out the country, she had a little smirk on her face. Glen, you was better off doing that than doing this recommitment shit, because you recommitting and you messing up. So what are we doing here, child? Anyways, oh, and Cedric, I guess he recommitting himself back to Marie. He done finally got rid of the bed, y'all. I am just so over it. Like, Carlos, you could have did better. 7 episodes is crazy. And then I know a lot of people were saying that, oh, y'all talking about their relationship. Their relationship ain't perfect. You're right. Their relationship ain't perfect. And they might have stuff coming. Latrice, you might have stuff coming with Cliff. But at the same damn time, y'all cannot make me side with Glen. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody relationship perfect. And y'all know me. I always say, if they are cool with it, then baby, why we talking about it? Tell them y'all relationship off, y'all don't want to talk about it on the show and find another angle. Because if you gonna keep taking it back, baby, quit. Save yourself the embarrassment. At the end of the day, just save yourself the embarrassment. I feel like this is this is, if Lateshia love it, if Lateshia like it, I guess I love it, child. But that was I'm just say this, and then we off them. Don't let nobody play in y'all face like Glen playing in Lateshia face. And don't let nobody tell you they having a damn recommitment ceremony or surprising you with nothing and it's bottom of the barrel. Like, bullshit. And then y'all child wasn't even there. Was this just for the show? Like, child, I'm over it. Carlos, you could have did better. 7 episodes for Belle Collective is crazy. Then you went on a goddamn hiatus for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Carlos, you gotta do better. You gotta do better. But yeah, that was that was Belle Collective, y'all. We gonna talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville and we gonna be gone.